Yes, so Sanjana, I think you have very clearly highlighted the key role that notes had played in your entire preparation, isn't it? So many students come to me with the similar issue. Sir, what should we do? Should we write more tests or should we give our time to notes? So is it notes, tests, test versus notes? How do we resolve this dilemma? And I think very early on in your preparation, even you had a similar dilemma. And how did you go about resolving this dilemma? And if you must tell our students, what if they have to prioritize one? What should they prioritize? Is it test writing or note making?
Initially, sir, in my preparation, I faced this dilemma, thinking that there is a dilemma, that note making versus writing answers is a dilemma. But later I realized that it's not a dilemma because first comes note making and then comes answer writing. It's as simple and clear as it is. So initially when one prepares, one is full of energy and enthusiasm. So one starts to write a lot of answers, gets them evaluated and feels a sense of completion. But that's actually not true. Because when you follow this process of reading a lot and writing a good answer, you realize that over time you cannot produce the same level of answer as you did earlier. Because now you don't have one set of notes from which you can read and do it. So, what you do initially, you read many sources, fragmented sources, and produce answers. But this amount of time will not be available after you pass prelims. So, there is no dilemma. I would repeat myself again that it is note making first, that's the first priority, and then comes answer writing.
True. I think very well said. Because I see a lot of students who are preparing for mains and after they clear prelims, they are under the huge pressure that they should write tests because they've heard everywhere that test writing is important, number of mock tests, and they are under enormous pressure and stress to write tests. But the problem is that they are writing mechanically and there is no consolidated content from which they are writing. It's like test writing has become an end in itself, whereas test writing is supposed to be a logical last step in the whole preparation process. So, test writing is just a way to evaluate whether or not the whole amount of preparation is being translated in the examination context. That's the game, right? But many students are approaching test writing without the prerequisites. It's like trying to play cricket without a proper bat, helmet, and pads. So you're constantly worried about what might happen to you, and you're not at your best of your ability. You don't have the right toolkit. So in your case, I think those notes served as good toolkits which helped you handle the vastness of exam. And if I am right, I think you haven't written tests until the last attempt. Only in your last attempt you wrote tests, but before that you didn't write tests. Even when you got 207 in the exam, you didn't write tests. Even the year you got third rank, you were third rank in Group 1 services in AP. Even then, there was no tests. All of this came from note making. And I think what many students miss is that when you are making good notes, implicitly writing practice happens. Because you are writing whatever you have read, you are trying to put down to writing in a very short and crisp manner. So that inevitably gives you a training in writing. And I think Sanjana madam's results are evidence of this idea. In fact, even after writing tests in your year when you got 37th rank, your marks were more or less similar in majority of papers except for one or two.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So I think clearly you have a number of steps to follow. In fact, in mentorship, we run students through all these steps. And writing tests is the last step, not the only step. Many students get confused. They equate test writing as the only thing. They assume that mains preparation is all about test writing. And they prioritize that over everything else. And I think that only adds to a lot of pressure but does not give the desired result when you don't do the other associated steps. And I think that's the key takeaway we can borrow from this.